3 women sat there, and I go, did you see the egg roll? And then I lost them for sure. It's like you were saying. You ever go to people's houses, and they talk, and then they say shit for 20 minutes? It's like by Studio City, where I live. Go to that coffee shop from time to time. You know what they were saying in there?
What?
The day after the Vegas shooter? The Vegas shooter was Sunday night. Do you know what these idiots were saying in there on Monday?
What?
That this had to do with women's rights and the abortions, and they just talk. This new breed of Gentiles, they just talk. That's all they do, is talk with big words to impress you. But they don't say shit. They don't say shit. 3 or 4 big words to let you know they're smart, and then they didn't say nothing.
Well, there's a lot of repeating narratives, right?
Oh, yeah. Every time, the new show I'm going to do, I'm buying one of those little tape recorders, and I'm putting them under these 6 fucking morons every day. Then at night, I'm going to do a show about what they discussed. Because this is 60% of America, what these fucking people are talking about. This is the idiots. The shit that comes out of their mouth is amazing. And you sit there and go, no wonder fucking ISIS wants to shoot us. Listen to these fucking dummies. Listen to what's coming out of their mouth. Women's rights? That's what they were talking about.
Well, what was their argument? They were saying that the guy,
shot
everybody.
Their argument is everybody trying to be smarter than everybody. It's just 6 people trying to outwit each other. It's like when you go to those fucking dinner parties you talk about. And by the time they serve the salad, you want to put a gun in your fucking mouth. Why am I even fucking here with these people? I could have stopped at Burger King and had a better fucking time. That's why I don't go to those dinner parties, because there's 8 people talk. And once politics comes up, you lose me, Joe Rogan. I don't want to hear about it no more. You lose me. You lose me. These new political people talking nonsense, you lose me. Move forward. Either impeach him, get a new one, or shut the fuck up. I can't. You ever put the news on anymore?
Well, it's definitely
first 20 minutes
on you.
He didn't send the check. He called her. What the fuck, man? Just tell who gives a fuck. Who gives a fuck? There's got to be something more. There's got to be a seal stuck on a beach somewhere in this fucking country. Something more important than this shit every fucking day. So the politics is over in my world. Religion, I don't want to. You're not supposed to talk about politics or religion at those fucking things. But this new breed of Gentile, they just talk for the sense of talking, to see who's the smartest person in the room, and at the end of the day, they're all a bunch of dumb fucks anyway. Knoxville's a great little fucking town. Like a cute little Tennessee town.
Is it?
It's like hip. It's a football, like a college town. So I get there on Friday night, Joe Rogan. I'm headlining. I got 38 minutes. I just moved to L.A., and I signed with Creative Management, and they booked those rooms. So they were booking me out as a headliner. I was just dying slow dead. So what they did was they put me in one-nighters that paid like $275 a night. They weren't bad. Clark, Tennessee, And we go to this Knoxville for 2 nights, and I go in there, and you know me, dog, I'm fucking crazy. First night I go in there, Friday night, there's 20 people for the first show. And there's a girl, Joe Rogan, that's a 12, with a guy that's a 4. Okay? And it's her birthday, Meanwhile, she just turned 21. It's her birthday. Okay? Hi, happy birthday. What's going on here? Because once you start hearing noise, you have to react to it as a comic. And you go, what's going on here? You're 21. I said, you're very beautiful. And then she just went and ran with it and started talking about how her husband pimps her out. He would have fights on, and for $20 you could fuck her in the back room.
20?
The fights were on. Whatever. I don't know. That on Fridays he would bring her to the construction truck. He would bring a truck with her to the construction site and put a mattress in the back. And at lunchtime, he would let her friends. And she's telling me this. It's like she's talking, and people are like just holding their breaths. Like, what is going on here? This girl is beautiful, and this retard is just pimping her. So in between shows, I go upstairs to do a line or smoke a joint or whatever the fuck I'm doing. When I come back, I see her by herself, and we start talking. And what's going on? Oh my God, I had such a great time. I go, is that stuff true? And she goes, yeah. I go, show me the monkey. And she took me in the woman's bathroom, pulled down her pants. The girl had a monkey that was spotless. It nearly stunk. I ate it. I fingered her some, and then she sucked my dick. That was it. I went back to my room. I didn't think nothing of it. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I scored. I go back for the second show. There's 8 people. But by the time I go back for the second show, Joe Rogan, she's sitting in the back. She's 21, and she's looking at me like this. She's fucked up. And 10 minutes into my spot, because I was headlining, she starts going, I sucked the comedian's dick tonight. And the husband's like, what are you talking about? And she's like, I sucked his dick, and he came in my mouth. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? The cops had to hold him back, and he's like, I want my $40. That's all he wanted. He didn't care that his wife sucked my dick at this comedy bathroom.
Oh, my God.
When the cops came, he kept saying, man, somebody's going to get hurt if I don't have my $40. That's a $40 blowjob. Did you come in her mouth? Because if I wouldn't have come, it would have been like 20. All he cared about was the $40, dog.
So he told me that backstage at your show,
God.
and I fucking started hyperventilating.
$40 for his wife. So every time somebody would refer to Shirley, they go, have you met Shirley yet?
Yeah.
And you go, no. And they go, oh, and they'd walk away. Well, Shirley, whoever the captain of that base was, the head of the base, she was his wife. And if a band came to town or a comedian came to town, she blew him. That's it. That was the rule. Like, he would sit out there with his fucking military on, with all his shit, and clap. And she'd be in the back, Zukalamink, to the whole band. I mean, this is crazy. So I didn't know about this. She came over and started talking to me, and then she started talking, oh, you're Cuban. I dated a Cuban one time. He had such a big dick. You have a big dick? I mean, it was that quick.
What?
It was that quick. Like, she just gets to it. She's like 50. I was maybe like 31. She was maybe 50.
Wow.
And she just dropped behind the curtain, took the hammer out, and started Zukalamink. I'm sitting there minding my own business. And all of a sudden, somebody comes yelling for her, Shirley, Shirley, Shirley. Now, usually, Shirley would get up and stop sucking your dick. Not Shirley. She moved her knees. Like I had knee on belly.
Right.
You know when somebody puts knee on belly, you're supposed to move this way?
Right.
That's what she did with her knees. She kept sucking and just kept moving this way. I tried to take it out of her mouth. She wouldn't let it. She's like, no, no, no. She wouldn't stop till, and they're like, Shirley, we're looking for you out here.
Man,
This is crazy shit.
I can't. I'm overstimulated. I feel like I need psychiatric treatment right now and an IV.
Oh, you just finished that fucking drink, all right?
Oh my God.
Zukalamink is the greatest thing anyone's ever said.
That is the best word of all time. Minke juice, Zukalamink.
Zukalamink.
Well, it's minkia. But when they say suka, they cut it short.
What is the word? What does it mean?
Minkia means suck my dick. Minkia in the dialect of Italian. Suka means suck.
Right, okay.
You know, it's so weird how the more
Is
you
this
go.
Spanish?
This is Italian, Sicilian.
Really?
So the deeper you go down the boot, the more, is it closer to Spain or is it farther from Spain? The closer Italy is from Spain, when people from that area speak Italian, I don't care how fast they're talking, they can't put the wool over me because I can pick up every 4 words.
Oh, right.
So Sicilians say suka. What's suck in Spanish?
Chupa.
Chupa. You're in the neighborhood.
Right.
Sukalamink. When they say Sukalaminkia, like, you know, well, what are you going to do today? I don't know, I'm going to go out and get my minkia sucked. But Sukalamink is just the short.
That's your
short
second
version.
shirt of this show.
Sukalamink.
Sure.
And then you got minkia juice. It comes at you however you want it. Made Saint on 148th Street and Broadway. But for me, it wasn't to be a killer or to be anything like that. I can't carry guns. I can't go in cars with strange people. I can't do business with 3 people. I can't say, I hope Jamie fucking gets hit by a car. I'm not allowed to say all those things. I don't use it the way in the late 70s.
Why can't you do business with 3 people?
Because 2 of them will sidle up against you. And that's the same thing that happened to me on my kidnapping. I robbed somebody with 3 people. I can't stay in anything. Look at my life now. Look at my life when I was snorting white powder. My saint in my head is control. Like, that's why I always wear a white T-shirt on Mondays. It's the day of the spirit.
What? You
Yeah.
always wear a white T-shirt on Monday?
Look at my shoes. They're white on white.
Always?
When I step out of the shower, I walk onto
Only
a
on
white
Monday?
shower mat every day.
Every day.
Every day. I'm still very Santa-y in my head. And when I saw them ripping my mother's clothes off, I was about 5. I'm like, fuck you black motherfuckers. And I started running down Bronx Boulevard. They had to chase me and bring me back. I didn't want to do it. It's an all-night ceremony. It's all night on a Friday.
It's crazy.
All night
12
on
hours
Friday,
long.
12 hours long.
Oh, my
You
God.
sleep, and then Sunday is when they read your future to you. And then for a week, you just live in a corner, white, They paint your head. You're bald.
What?
So I had to go back to school on Monday bald with a hat. They said he's not allowed in here with a hat. My mother gave the principal a small nickel, and I was allowed to wear the hat from 9 to 3. But then at 3 o'clock, I had to go home and change into white clothes for a year. Not allowed
For a year?
I had to dress in white. Not
For
allowed.
a year?
A year. So for my cause, I would just have to wear
Imagine the
white
dry cleaning
underwear,
bills.
white socks, and white T-shirt. Because I was a kid. I can't keep wearing fucking white every day. I'm ripping shit.
Right.
So now your hair has to grow back. So when I walk into, there's a ton of Santeria in L.A.
Really?
I don't deal with it at all because it's all the same thing like everything else in L.A. It's a bunch of white people who didn't grow up in it. And there's a hot black guy, and they want to really just suck his dick, and he's telling them about spirits. I saw a video today. I'm like, shame on them. It's all confused. It's like those white chicks that suck that Hindu dick when they go to hot yoga.
Yes,
You know that guy that sucked it? Bikram. Bikram is a pig. He got a bunch of white chicks with hummus flavor in their mouth from sucking that Bikram dick. You know, well, he gets to me inside. You suck that fucking dead dick that smells like hummus chips. 3 women sat there, and I go, did you see the egg roll? And then I lost them for sure. They even told me, they go, you got the job. As I was walking down the street on Fox, my phone rang. My agent goes, go back. You didn't even read. I didn't even read, and they called my agent and said, we love this guy. I went back, and when I went, didn't even read. They saw the Cuban egg roll, you know.
Well, they were probably not used to someone with confidence that didn't give a fuck.
You know, I went to an audition one time, bro, where the guy I'll never forget this. The guy was a white trash guy. Like, this family moved in. It was a pilot for ABC. And this guy is one of those guys that he had a little circular pool in front of his house. And he was watering shit, but at the same time, he had like a thong on. And he's fat. He's got jewelry on, like one of those guys in like Long Island, you know what I'm saying? So I'll never forget, I get to the audition, all these guys are there. Tony Longo, God rest his soul, all these big Italian dudes. And I knew they were going to get the part, bro. I'm like, they're going to get the part. I'm not going to get it. But I had warm-ups on. All right, I had warm-ups on with the string, and I had white, tidy whiteys. And I had a zip-up jacket, and I had to weigh 380. So I walked in, I go, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my pants off. Right? I'm taking my fucking sweats off. Dog, I walk in, and what do you think these 2 ladies say to me? Hold on 1 second. We'll be with you in a minute. So they turn around. That's my cue, bitch. I took those sweatpants off. I took the shoes off and my socks, and I walked closer, and I took my shirt off. When they turned back around, all I had was boxer shorts on, like the tidy whities. That's it. Tits hanging out, stomach hanging over the underwear. And they did. As soon as they turned around, they were like, "Oh my God!" They're like, "That is terrible. Put your shirt back on." I'm like, "I'm not putting on shit. All right, I'm reading this motherfucker how it is." So you were supposed to like wave and say good morning, and they're like, "Action," and they're like, can't even look at me because I'm completely naked. You know, and they can't even look at me, and I'm making believe I'm flipping burgers, and I look over at them and I go, living like a doctor. That's it. They booked me. When I got to the audition, that was the read. Living like a doctor. They even gave me my own line. Half of those auditions I went into, they gave me whatever line I said in the audition. Like whatever they said wasn't good enough. Like I go in there with my own fucking line.
Yeah, that's probably why you got it.
Look at Joey. He's just sitting
There
there
you
like
are
a
in the
mook
back.
galore.
That's when you were wearing those big daddy shirts.
Yeah,
all
look
the
how
time.
big I was.
Jesus Christ, you were enormous back then. That must have been like, what, 2000 then, right?
Yeah, this is 2000, 2002, 2003.
I remember when I met you, like right after I met you, I brought you onto the set of News Radio.
Oh,
and they were all like, who is this guy?
With the leather jacket on.
Is this guy your friend? Like, I go, that's Joey.
You could tell that maybe he could mingle on the other
dog.
side. You could talk him into switching governments if
He's
you
got
had
a
to.
kid and a dog.
I know a lot of dudes like that that you look at and you go,
Living a
something ain't
lie.
right. This guy
Every
could
guy
suck
out
a
there
dick.
with a kid who's walking his dog is like, fuck, am I gay?
No.
Do I want to suck dick?
Maybe you have evil fantasies like Rob Halford in Hell Bent for Leather. You know that song?
Rob Halford's whole
evil fantasy.
But he was gay as fuck.
No, I'm not saying that. I love Bob Halford. I love Rob
I do
Halford.
too.
But I'm just saying that
You got another thing coming.
there's a lot of fucking guys, dog, that you see, that you know, maybe their dad's still alive and he was a Marine. You can't go
What the
home
fuck
and
does that mean?
You can't go home and tell your dad who was a general, I want to suck dick full time.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? So
I
they
thought you were
played the
saying
game
like
for a
those
while.
guys, if your dad
They
was
played the
alive,
game.
he's a Marine, you want to blow guys.
Joe Rogan, you're an intelligent. How many guys do you think are out there right now? We've had this discussion
Millions.
that are married, whatever, but every once in a while they put a feather suit on and they go dance like in anything.
It's probably more than 10.
And that's what we used to, we used to go down there. We were dumb kids. We figured out we could rob these dudes that were drunk. They come down to get their dick sucked. So we paid them. We got the captain of police's son. So we weren't going to go to jail. He was better looking than you. We weren't going to go to jail. We put him out there. We put like a guinea T-shirt, those wife beaters with a little gold chain with a cross on it and shit.
The ultimate cock tease.
And we put him out there on
That's
Boulevard
hilarious.
East. And then we'd hide in the trees. And then he'd go, I'll suck your dick. And the guy would park. And then he'd walk him back. And right before I went to get that one knee, I come up with that straight right kick, John Jones to the fucking nutsack.
God damn,
You
Joey.
go down. We're in the trees. We're hiding in the trees. We fucking fly down from the trees. And we just bam, bam, bam. We take your money. We run. We're 16 guys. Nobody fucking knows what's right and what's wrong.
Not that young.
My mother. No.
Perfect guy to rob. Who's the guy's not going to the cops?
He's not going to the cops. And you got to remember, my crew was the third crew on. There was a crew from 64th Street. They were not only robbing you, they were taking you to your house. I had friends that were in high school that actually were setting you up. Yeah, let's suck your dick. And then they put you back in your car and go to your house and rob you. We were the light crew. We were just going down there peppering you with a few shots and running away with you.
Nobody getting their dick sucked.
My point about the story was there was one time where
I got beat up. I went down there by myself.
You went
I went down there by myself. I had the
Yeah.
Knicks minus the 8.5, and I only won by 8. So I got caught by the hook. And I called my buddy, and I go, dog, we lost. And he goes, I'm with my girlfriend. But at the time, I was yayoing it up. I'm hanging out with my buddies. We're hitting the bag. I'll go down there. I'll go down there, dog. I'm from Jersey. They ain't gonna do nothing to me. This dude lit me up. It could have been Nunez's uncle. I'll tell you what I don't like is these fucking COVID tests. The one with the nose.
Oh my God, what a weird feeling.
Here's the funny thing. Like, I did it, but I got the blood. I didn't trust. Listen, let me explain something to you. You don't want to put a cotton swab in my nose, dog.
What happened?
I got angel dust, coke, THC crystal, animal tranquilizers, asshole dust, fucking pubic hairs. I smelled Newark in the summer. What haven't I smelled? Coke, heroin, fucking. Are you kidding me? When they did my nose,
Asshole dust.
I remember. Asshole dust. You look, open up an asshole, a little bit of dust comes out. Nobody knows nothing. You just take it like a man. Like, I remember when I woke up, Dr. Line was jizzling my nose, and the sparks were coming out of my nose and shit. I still got Coke rocks in those glands in there. So you stick a cotton swab in there, and they're gonna fuck it up because they're making mistakes, right? So some grandmother's gonna go, you didn't test positive for COVID, but you need treatment. Like, you need help. You got like 10 kilos in your fucking nose. Who would go for that fucking stupid test and wait online and sit for 10 hours with 80,000 people?
Well, the new one, they barely go inside your nose. They used to have to go deep up into your nose, but now they just go into the opening. It's not that bad. The new one's not that bad.
It's like, you ever thought about this? We've never discussed this. This young generation no dick. And I did the fucking research. When I was growing up in the 70s, you got a thermometer in your asshole.
Yes.
They used to put a thermometer in your asshole. Think of the result of what that did to people. If we go backwards, we're going to see how many people are gay because for years they were getting a thermometer put in their asshole. By the time they're 16, what difference does it make? You've been putting a thermometer in my ass. You know how many times that
I don't
doctor...
think that's how it works.
The thermometer, it was the creepiest thing, people, okay? You went to a doctor, he'd tell you to bend over. Like, you'd be burning up. You'd have one of those COVID fevers. He'd tell you to bend over. He'd dip the thermometer in Vaseline, and he'd stick it in your ass for like a minute. And you had to sit there with a fucking thermometer in your ass and look at him, like make eye contact and talk to him. Then he would take it out, wipe it, and then go like look real close. And tell you you're 91.1. You don't remember a thermometer in the ass, Joe Rogan?
I remember them.
You think about that shit.
I remember them in the mouth too. Well, I always
under the
felt
tongue.
weird about that because you have this metal fucking rod in your mouth.
Under the armpit too.
Really?
That was one for a while.
It's hard to believe, right?
That's the best part of comedy. I don't give a fuck when anybody tells you standing ovations, selling tickets. The part of comedy you're going to remember is when you were with Brody Stevens in a car with Josh Wolf, and I got Brody in the back tied up in the fucking back in the Volvo, and I'm doing 100 with his car, and he's yelling, "Stop it! Normal people do not live like this." Every time I see Brody, I give him a hug now. Brock Lesnar ain't coming back. Brock Lesnar ain't never coming back.
Well, he's not going to come back and fight for a world title right away.
But he ain't
you don't
come
think so?
back, bro.
No.
I think
That was the biggest embarrassment of the
Lord,
fucking
that would
year.
be crazy
That was
for
the
them.
biggest fucking embarrassment of the year.
Why would that be?
Embarrassment, bro.
What was embarrassing?
Just embarrassing against Mark Hunt. They knew he was on the juice. He went in there loaded to the gills. It was just an embarrassing fucking thing. It was an embarrassing thing for everybody. And Mark Hunt had every fucking right to be mad. They put him in there with a guy that's coming off rocket fucking fuel. That dude just don't eat D-ball. Look at the size of his fucking head. He's taking shit that makes your fucking head grow. Okay? That's what they give to fucking pit bulls. I bumped into him in 94. I kidnapped him in 87. I bumped into him in 94, and I bought coke from him. Right? And he was all fucked up on Pearl Street down in Boulder. And then he never remembered. I think he blacked out. That's how bad a shape he was in. I asked him. Not this time, though, the time before, I asked him, "Do you remember me buying blow from you?" He goes, "I remember seeing you, and I remember hating you the next day." I couldn't believe I didn't knock you the fuck out because I caught him off guard. He was at a bar all fucked up. I'm like, "You gotta sell me some blow." He's like, "Look who's here."
The guy who kidnapped me.
The guy who kidnapped me. But I called him
You bought blow after you kidnapped him and before you apologized for kidnapping him?
6 years later, yeah, I saw him at a bar on Pearl Street.
Did you even say, "I'm sorry I kidnapped you"?
Not that night. I just gave him a hug and asked him if he knew where I'd get some blow and shit.
Not that
And he
night.
gave me a hug, and I always thought about him. And when I apologized, I felt really bad. And I talked to him the other day, and he started telling me he's 50. He lives with his mother. He had a heart attack. You know, I could tell when I talked to him and in his pictures on Facebook that he had a stroke. You know, that was all from the blow, bro. Sometimes when he calls me and I could tell he's drinking, you know. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I feel real guilty that I do this. But then, you know, I'm the type of guy, I don't play that shit. You know, I don't play that shit at all. He was fucked up when I kidnapped him. I mean, a couple weeks before, you know, how this whole thing started was because he got a DUI, fucked up some cars, went to Boulder Hospital on North Hospital, Boulder General. Mm-hmm. And while he was in there, you know, Boulder, he was hurt. They left him in a room by himself, and he stole a bottle of liquid cocaine and jumped out the window. Okay, and they caught him an hour later on the other side of Boulder. When you steal a bottle of liquid cocaine from the hospital, you already got problems.
Oh,
okay?
my God.
Me kidnapping him, you know, and we laugh and we giggle. Me kidnapping him makes me feel like maybe I contributed to that, but I didn't. He had his own doom. So Friday I went to the store, and I swear to God, guys, I didn't eat nothing all day. I had smoked some pot. I worked out. I went to the Y. I did chest and the other thing. I smoked dope. Before I left the house, there was a little brownie. A 70 milligram brownie. I had like maybe 13 carbs left for the day. I was fucking starving. This little brownie is right there. It was a half a pack of an Anarchy edible. They give you 2 brownies. Oh. Each brownie is 70 milligrams.
That's so crazy. That's so scary.
I rub my balls with 70 milligrams. You understand me? 70 milligrams for Uncle Joey is like an appetizer. It's like an aperitif. It's not even a fucking appetizer.
Explain to the rest of the world, 70 milligrams will put you into a fucking hole.
Do you know I gave Lee 500 last night? He puked.
500?
We split
Jesus Christ.
We split
Did you say 500 milligrams?
We split 1,000 milligram edible.
Did you hear that Alice in Chains song, Down in a Hole?
Oh, my God. Listen to me, Doug. We split it at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh, my God. What are you trying to prove?
By 7 o'clock, I was so fucked up. By 8 o'clock. And you know what? Usually when you eat, you tame that animal? Yeah. Fuck no. This turned on me. This edible turned on me, dog, like a savage. He beat me into submissions. At one point, I had the cheese doodles that belongs to the baby Pirate's booty. Yeah. They were on the floor. They were just coming out of my face. I was just stuffing it. I was just stuffing Pirate's booty in my face and a pear. And there was a bunch of fruit in Pirate's booty. I couldn't stop. I kept eating peaches and Pirate's booty, pears and Pirate's booty, cantaloupe and Pirate's booty. I must have ate the whole. Even my wife was like, because I had my back turned to them so they couldn't see me. My wife's like, what the fuck are you doing in here? I go, listen, I got to go to bed. She goes, go to bed already. I went to bed at 8:45. I slept till 4. I got up. I didn't know where I was. I just lay there for 30 minutes like Mad Max. I just laid there all confused.
So you woke up at 4 in the morning, you didn't know where you were?
Solo. At 4:30, I woke up with a ton of energy. I went in the shower. I washed the car. I went for breakfast. I went and washed the car. My wife had to have a tar stain. So I went oh, my God. I was fucked up. And I kept calling Lee and saying, Lee, if the cops call you, don't answer the phone. He goes, why are the cops on the call? I go, I don't know, but don't answer.